an acrylic plastic box with 4 sensing resistors on the inside and 2 plates with external controls on the outside. And then bouncy balls bouncing around the inside. The external controls are buttons on the right selects chords, major, augmented, minor, diminished. Buttons on the right are laid out on a piano scale, 1 octave. And our notes are triggered when the bouncy balls come in contact with the 4 sensing resistors on the inside of the box. So you choose your root note, you choose the type of chord you'd like to play, and then as you shake the box,
each side of the box is a different note, and the FSRs are hooked up to the binary ports on the Dupfer box. There's no like note velocity sent from the inside of the box. Like these 3 will be like in parallel, and they hook up to like one spot on the Dupfer box. The knob is just is continuous controller. On the Dupfer box, it goes into number 14, but what controller it is determined in the max patch. If you press 2 of the blue buttons down at a time, it changes what controller this sends. The farthest 2 apart changes the channel and sets it to 7, and it controls the volume of the synthesizer that's built into the Reason patch. But so like what happens is you just press the chord and press the note, and it stays that chord if you let go of the buttons. And like you can shake it around after pressing those, and it'll play that chord. And at the top we have all the note ins coming in, and we have an if statement at first that separates out all the chromatic ones from everything else. The FSRs, the blue buttons, which are like the chord selector buttons. We have a sub patch here, and that determines. This has logic that like separates the note ons from the note offs. Then there's these little pieces in here that determine if there's 2 pressed at once. And so if there's 2 pressed at once, it sends out like a number, or just like a message actually that says, you know, like it's actually text in max, you know, major and minor are pressed right now. And that commands another little sub patch to switch the controller number for the knob to like all our synths are in a combinator, and just the 4 master buttons on the combinator are mapped out. And so we just use like the MIDI implementation for that, which was the root note comes out, and you check here to make sure it's a note on. Otherwise, nothing happens. If it's a note on, it comes through. And here, what we wanted is we didn't want just like chords like, you know, in the same inversion going up, because then if you went from like an A minor to like a C major chord, or like A minor C, whatever, it would be like a huge jump, like down the keyboard, and like so we wanted all the pitches to be kind of near each other. So this determines like if you're playing like a C through E, like it does a certain inversion. If you're playing like a little bit above that, it does another inversion, and then the next set's the like last inversion. And so they all fall between like F and F almost. In Reason, everything's in the combinator, so you use the combinator's programmer to like set where the knobs go. And like I said, if you press these 2 ones, what it does, it changes the knob to control the master volume on the mixer. So you can kind of control like you can just do dynamics that way. And then like if you press these 2, it goes to the first knob, and then if you do, I believe these 2, it goes to the second knob, these 2, the third knob, and then that's the 4th knob, I think. There's a delay on like, you know, some of the notes, so you get like an echo effect. But when so the knob controls the amount of time, but if you set the time to really big, your feedback, if it's too high, like you just get these notes that repeat forever, you know? So we invert, it controls the delay time and the feedback amount like inversely to each other.
Okay.
So like the more delay time you have, the less feedback you get.
That's good.
The FSRs, I think the biggest problem was to get them to read all the impact. I don't think they're actually still reading the small bouncy balls if they hit them really slowly. The big balls, we usually get them, the impact, but the small balls, they're really light and not really strong.
What would you have done differently?
Maybe put like some sort of material over the FSRs to make it.
If we could embed the FSRs in some kind of like a hard rubber or something, like the pads on the Akai's.
I'd like to hook the FSRs up to continuous controllers so we could have them control note on velocity. So the harder you shake the box, the louder it is.
The patch we built for triggering the impacts was
Brilliant.
brilliant.
Well,
Unused, but really nice.
Next time.